What's good, everybody? It's your boy WxG REView coming at you again with a very special guest in my video. Say hello to my lovely lady.
Hi.
Mi amor, the one who owns my heart.
I love you.
My sweetest TZ. She's going to talk about wrestling with me because she was here to watch me enjoy AEW FULLGEAR. Baby, how did you feel about the pay-per-view?
I liked it.
You liked it?
A lot, yeah.
Anything that you said that you weren't too fond of?
No. I enjoyed the whole thing. I can't think of anything I didn't.
Good. You over here talking all soft and whatnot. It's weird because you over here with a very loud boyfriend.
I know, but I don't talk loud.
I guess that's why you don't want to be so vicious. Enough of that. It's time to review. I'll get to y'all in a minute. Play my music. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here's the thing. The show starts out on the pre-show with the NWA Women's World Championship match between AEW Serena D and a newly freed Allison Kay. Now then, if you watch the pre-show and you view this as an actual jump-off point for Full Gear, this was a very good match because the in-ring action was solid. They got great timing, about roughly 20, maybe more minutes in match. Serena D as champion, definitely with her veteran experience, her technical skill, is a solid champion. She very much appears to be able to hold it. While her opponent, Allison Kay, coming from the NWA, being the former NWA Women's Champion before Thunder Rosa, is also very well accomplished. Her bigger stature makes her a rather intimidating opponent, and honestly, the way they flowed together worked pretty well. The opening act part of the match was mostly Serena D being heavy offense, with Allison mounting a comeback briefly, but it seems like just majority of the time that, in my opinion, D was ahead. And in the end, she did pull out the victory. Go ahead and raise that one. Now, that was pretty short because I'm basically doing this freehand, no notes, and, raw and uncut like I used to, and the biggest thing came after the match where we saw Thunder Rosa come in to basically show she's going to challenge for her belt again. Now then, does this mean that she is going to be in AEW? Not 100% sure. It does not appear. She could be going back to the NWA. That way she can still have the freedom to do her MMA fighting as well as running promotion, because she actually does have a promotion out here in Texas. I believe it's Mission Pro Wrestling. And I believe it's mostly women, so I am definitely down for her to still be free to have all these extra side projects and still be in contention for the women's champion. Baby, how did you feel about that match?
I liked it.
You liked it? It was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was good. It was good. Yeah. So as far as the match, not much in build of story. In-ring action was solid. I would definitely go ahead and say that this one gets a B+. B+ for me. That's great. That was good.
With that.
Yes. But now it's time to start the show because we open this thing up with one of the biggest matches of the night, with a story that hasn't necessarily begun to tell itself. Now, what do I mean? We have the AEW World Championship Tournament finals between Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Now then, this is somewhere around a year after the last time they had singles action prior to their formation of a tag team. Then we have the breakup of the team. We have Kenny having probably a slightly easier run initially with his side of the tournament, as opposed to Hangman, who started out with some pretty solid and difficult competition. Kenny, he had Sunny Kiss and then Pentagon. Which is going from Sunny to Penta. It was a bit of a change. It was a change from an easy win squash to a more difficult win that actually had to put in a lot more work for. While Page, he had Cole Cabana with his out there comedic style and technical abilities go against, and then dealing with Wardlow, that fucking tank and kind of just narrowly squeezing through. And then when we get into the match itself, it begins flowing, showing that both men know each other in and out. Basically, but when things get going, you start to see the best in both. Kenny, his speed, his explosiveness in the ring. Hangman Page's ridiculous power and quite agile nature. Like you really got to keep in mind. And the way this match goes, it really could have been any man's match. But much like as Kenny has been portraying early with his entrances, he is the more experienced man. He was more solid in the ring. And even when, and I really thought this was gonna go to Hangman, he just didn't have it in him to go up against Kenny. And then Kenny, once he like power through, get the win, 1, 2, 3. It feels like that's over. Like it's come out like this match is over. But here's the thing: this wasn't a feud match. This was a match put on by the tournament itself, and Hangman trying to get himself in there as his way to compete against Kenny. But Kenny, he basically came in, did his thing, and left. He had to push forward, and the match itself was so fucking good. It set such a great tone without really getting into the feud that we know we're going to get with these two. Even on the first account, the next one has to be better, has to be more story going. As far as me, I'm definitely going to give that one a solid A.
I would concur with that.
You would concur with that one?
Yeah, I really like that fight.
Yeah, it was good.
But I thought Hangman was going to win. I didn't think that.
I was going for Kenny. I thought the story that would have been told was that Kenny being so boastful and his pride being, all out there, he would have basically gotten too cocky, underestimated Hangman, and Hangman get him in the end.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
And then I thought we would have gone to like a whole different side of Kenny, but it looks like we're going to be looking to have Kenny and Moxley. I hope this gets built to Revolution.
That's going to be so good.
Oh yeah, they definitely can't do this no time quick. It cannot be on Dynamite. That has to be a pay-per-view match. Not to mention, it'll be the first time they would have crossed paths since last year's Full Gear. Which, oh my god.
I didn't watch last year's.
I know I'm getting you into AEW more now. So
I mean, I watched it before, but I'm getting more into it now.
Oh yeah, we gonna watch it eventually.
Yeah.
So how do you follow that? We follow it with some comedy action as we have Orange Cassidy going up against John Silver, one of the most over guys in AEW, going up against one of the rising stars. Like, surprisingly to say, John Silver has become so popular that it's led from him being like one of the biggest features on being the Elite, now to him being a much more bigger star in AEW. Now it starts out with freaking Cassidy doing his thing, getting Silver over, but Silver is so fucking just following. He's just like, don't, like as soon as Cass going to put the arms, he's like, "Don't you do it!" and following him down like it was so fucking funny.
It was very funny.
And then Cassidy gets his thing started the way he does, fast paced and everything, but fucking Silver doesn't play no games. Once he starts getting advantage, he rips out Cassidy's pocket and so disrespectful and just start eating him and everything. Basically showing Johnny Hill like, I laughed my ass off. But here's the thing, that's when it's starting, because once the pace going, it becomes a full fledged match, and it was good.
Very.
Oh my god. Honestly, this was a bigger showing out for John Silver than it was for Orange Cassidy. Because say what you will, we've all seen Orange Cassidy shine for so long, and I low-key was thinking I think this is like the test to see how big of a push John Silver can get. John Silver looked like a goddamn beast. Between the show of strength, because he is fucking buff, and then his hits, those kicks, he's so fucking vicious, and it fucking hurts when I see it. But at the end of the day, this is Orange's thing. He gets that orange punch, comes in with the I think it's like the beat shock or something like that, and then bam. Cass gets a win, and it was good. It was deserved. It was a great match. Another one I would go ahead and say it gets an A. And this one gets an A because the in-ring action was on point.
Yep.
Not to mention there is story built to this from a feud angle.
Yeah.
Both men showed the best, and they were on top of their game. Like, I cannot say that this was anything bad.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yes.
Very, very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Oh. Can't remember what came after that.
Wasn't it,
Was it Darby Allin and Cody? I think it was Darby and Cody.
I think it was, and then it was Nyla, right? And Sheila after that.
Well, let's assume that this is it. So following this match, as far as this review is concerned, we're gonna talk about Darby Allin versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes got his fucking name back. That felt great. WWE dropped their lawsuit to keep the Rhodes names. Cody has it back.
Bro, you got so excited. I felt the wall.
I fucking lost it. It was so good.
It was really good.
Yeah, but so the story there being that Cody, he's retained his title. He's on top of the world. He just came out of having a match with Darby, not with Orange Cassidy not too long ago too. And Darby basically had his challenge set for whoever had the belt for Full Gear. Darby himself has been brooding up top, looking on to his possible opponent week after week. Very Sting reminiscent, which is why it's so sad that Sting never did debut. I was hoping so bad that Sting would pop up and basically be a mentor to Darby. I could see it so fucking much.
Yeah,
but
that would have been a great opportunity.
That would have been a great thing, but that does not take away from the match because the in-ring action was hot. Now that we got this thing on and popping the way it does, Cody Rhodes trying to shine the showboat, monkey shine a little bit, if you will, over there getting very cocky, showing his strength. But here's the thing: if you have not been watching Dark, you have not been seeing what Darby does. Darby's been fucking up big dudes for a minute. His wrestling game has gone over. He's not nearly as reckless as he was when he first started. His technical skills have actually grown immensely. Like great. On top of the fact that he is like stupid nigga fast.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, like he is so.
That was my first time watching him.
Yeah, my first time baby saw Darby, and she was just like,
I love that
because of how quick and agile he is, and how he was basically getting the better of Cody to the point where Arn had to pull him to the side. Hey, calm the fuck down, get your shit together, stop fucking showboating, take this seriously. And for the better part of this match, this is Cody's match. Cody was in solid control. I would say 65% of the time was Cody in control and Darby being on the comeback. To the point where I thought the match was over whenever that avalanche crossroads got hit. Remember how nasty that shit looked?
Yeah, I thought it was over with.
It was, and Darby rolled over, and then basically they said that he reached under the ropes and that's a break. I never knew that was a break.
I didn't know. I
thought that was just like some bullshit, but I guess it's an actual thing from what I'm hearing. So Darby gets it, and then a little bit later it goes into he gets it with a roll up pin, which I have no problem with because as much as I like the coffin drop, it's like success ratio is a little too low for my comfort, especially in such a match going up against Cody Rhodes, a veteran at this point in his career. Like he is so solid in his wrestling foundations. But this is a great underdog story, and even afterward, Cody.
He took that knee.
Yeah, and bestowed to the new champion. I was like, yes.
I thought you were gonna fight for it. And you're not gonna take this.
Right.
Be a dick about it. But when he took that knee, I was like, oh, my heart.
It was so good, and I mean, story, execution. Oh my god, it was so fucking great.
It really was.
It was so good. I'm just like,
love that one.
And that one, I would say, the first match of the night, I would say gets an A+. Off of story, in-ring action, the building anticipation, not to mention the whole narrative of Darby not being the type of champion that TNT wants. He fucking underdog it, and he really had to fight hard for it. And Cody still came out looking good, looking solid, looking set in his ability to wrestle. He didn't come out looking weaker then. He just got outsmarted, and his pride got the better of him.
Yep.
How do you feel about it? Do you think that's a bit of an overgrade?
Honestly, no. I was really fucking loving that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what made it over the edge for me was the very end, how he didn't become that asshole I thought he was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you started showing me, I was like, he's kind of an asshole. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting him to be that asshole, but when he took that knee, I was like, oh, my heart just exploded.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so that sportsmanship at the end just fucking got me.
Yeah, just honorable, a good thing. But after that, we had Team Taz coming down and jumping to both of them. Putting the hurting on Cody, on R and everything, and then also on Darby. So that's gonna go into its own thing. Not to mention, it looks like there might be some issues inside Team Taz over who will be the next one, who will compete for that TNT title. Now Brian Cage is the FTW champion. He has defended it at least once so far, but maybe he wants to go for an official AEW belt. Because he's not really, I don't know how, they're not really defending that FTW championship as much, but, I could wait and see. I could definitely see them kind of making the FTW champion an unofficial heavyweight title. And because there definitely has to be this feud between Darby and Absolute Ricky Starks. That's going to fucking happen. And then we still got Will Hobbs in the mix. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait to see where that goes. Next up, we have women's action. As we have Shida versus Nyla Rose in a match that
I love that one.
Now on paper, literally as you see it coming, and if you've been paying attention for a few weeks, you would think that this match didn't get a lot of build. Like, basically they just chose Nyla to go up against Shida and they just threw it together. But what you have to look back is the fact that for some time before that happened, there was already this storyline going where Nyla wasn't going to wrestle until Shida gave her a title opportunity, and that was like weeks. Maybe about a month before this match. It's hard to remember because I think that happened on Dark. So this is another reason why you have to watch Dark. And not to mention, last time they went at it was for the title, quite some time ago, where I believe Shida took the belt off of Nyla, and I was going for Nyla to get this one, but it didn't. This thing started off with both women swinging hands. They weren't playing no games. It was just chunking hands off rip.
I wasn't thinking Nyla was gonna win it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think she was. I saw the fight and what's next.
But early on, that was Nyla's match. No, I'm lying. Early on, Shida was running the fuck out of Nyla at first. Yeah. Until Vicky got involved and turned things around. Nyla started getting a little beat down on Shida and everything. But and then she hurt her leg and everything, and then basically
she kept trying to wrap her fucking leg and fuck her knee up around the pole.
Oh yeah. Gotta work it over.
Oh yeah.
But going down to the final stretch, Nyla was kind of doing a bit much, but both women were basically gassed. I guess because it's been a while since they've really gone this full length. They also had about a roughly 20-minute match, give or take. Mm-hmm. And as they're both trying to hit the running knee, fucking Vicky's interference ended up costing Nyla dearly, as she managed to not only land that knee, she did it again and again. And again, fucking her face up and basically
fighting through that pain.
Oh yeah, and just Nyla went down 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
She didn't retain.
I like when she threw her into what's her name. She threw Nyla into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Oh yeah, Vicky had to go there. And then, afterwards, Vicky going off on Nyla, and normally Nyla will fuck a bitch up, but Vicky ended up slapping her, and Nyla kind of fell into formation. Also, kudos to Nyla's outfit, Mega Man inspired. I fucked with it heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this match got a B+ for me. I will agree that I would like more build. The in-ring action was good, but they got really gassed going towards the end. It was pretty apparent, but you know what? It was still solid. It was still good. I want more from the women's division on the show, but that was actually that was solid. That was great.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. I wasn't disappointed. I've seen some that I was just really? Mm-hmm. It could have been way better, but I actually enjoyed this one.
Yes, that was great. So following that action, we had the Young Bucks versus FTR. You bouncing, baby?
Yes. I really fucking enjoyed that one.
Now my girl, I got her into AEW some time ago, especially when you were in the hospital.
Yeah.
Glad you out. She got into it, so she started watching it and started enjoying it. I would tell her little things here and there. So, and I explained to her the story of the Young Bucks versus FTR, about how this feud went back years ago, started online, and never would have thought that it would happen. Then, through magical ass means, everything fell into place to where we have this match. Both guys coming out in rivalry colors. We got the Bucks repping LA, the Cali boys, but we got the North Kakalaki boys, FTR, coming out in Celtic colors. So that's already nice aesthetically. Mm-hmm. But then when you get into the action, it's hard because for the first part of the match, Nick Jackson. I'm probably gonna talk more about this match than any other. Nick Jackson had to more or less take on FTR by himself with quick tags for Matt to get in and out, while he was kind of handling the both of them. But eventually he had himself to get out, and Matt got in, and Matt was doing his thing, holding his own. You know, he was looking pretty solid. But the thing about the Bucks is that they have a high flying, flashy offense, which is really what started turning things around in FTR's favor. As Matt's injured leg started hurting, FTR started just getting at his ass for a long ass time, doing what they do, old Southern style wrestling, keeping them down to the ground, breaking them down, working the limbs, beating the fuck out of them until outside of the ring, Dax Harwood tries to go for a punch on Matt, ended up busting his hand up.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
It did, but it was good. And even still, you know, FTR was still working on him while Cash Wheeler was working on Matt while Dax was getting covered, but Matt did get tagged and got Nick in, who was able to turn things around and start evening it out. And then that's when the whole psychology of the match really starts setting, when you gotta start paying attention to the way that went. Because at one point it was Matt Jackson with the leg, known for super kicking, injured, go up against Dax Harwood, whose best fist is all jacked up. So we got two men hurt, going at it to the RCT, not able to pull off their signature moves as good as they can, but still putting in work, making the stakes even higher. Basically, it's like, who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to be able to tag the party and to close this thing and clinch it? And then from there, they started breaking into sequences, calling back to old teams, like legendary tag teams. We had the Dudley Boys brought out. We had some throwbacks. I think we had a electric chair bulldog section. But I think it's their deal, but it's still big. We had a freaking twist of fate into a swanton combination. I believe we had ode to the Dudley Boys. I think I already said. Mm-hmm. And what else? I think there was one more. Oh yeah, then we had callbacks to FTR's time in NXT with their matches with FTR, and then another one where they were set up in dueling submission spots. Oh my god, I was fanboying so hard. And my girl who hasn't been in the wrestling like that is literally enjoying it and is enjoying the story that's being told. And yeah, I'm explaining little things to her, but she's just like feeling it going down.
Oh yeah, you know, like I had seen them fight before,
mm-hmm.
but I haven't. Like you said, you're still like teaching me some of the shit, 'cause like I haven't watched it for fucking ever. I mean, I've watched it on and off, but the people I would watch it with would never really explain shit to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like watching people beat the shit out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I watch sports to watch them beat the living crap out of each other.
But once you get a story and investment,
once I heard you told me that shit, I was like, oh man, I fucking love this shit.
And at the end of the day, with the odds stacked against them, with the biggest stakes on the line, the Bucks pulled it out as Cash Wheeler broke FTR's cardinal sin, trying to get flippy when you don't get flippy. Now, granted, he pulled it off. Given he went for, what was it, a springboard 450. He got the spin off, and had he landed, that would have been it. But it got missed. And then, what was it? I think it was like a barefoot super kick into the 1-2-3. And the Bucks, after over a year of this company's existence, of wanting to find a way and chasing after having such an amazing tag match early this year, 5-star worthy, had a better tag match in at the end of the year against their faded rivals, and there's going to be more. This is a feud that cannot end on just one match.
Oh no! I hope they keep going.
Oh no, not too often.
Fighting together.
It was so good, but they got to space it out.
Oh, of course they
do.
Do.
They have to keep it spaced.
Because if they fucking bring it too close together, the feud will end too fast.
It's not even the end of the feud. It's just like it loses its spark.
Yeah.
Like good.
You'll lose shit to do. Like you do too much, you don't run out of ideas for the feud.
Right, and then also peppering in for other future feuds. Now, then last week, the Bucks were about to be attacked by FTR when Hangman Page came and saved them. Mm-hmm. And Kenny was the second one out. Tonight, when the Bucks won gold, Kenny came out first to celebrate with them. And if you paid close enough attention, it's like a blink and you miss it. Hangman was out there in the entranceway just watching.
Oh yeah, he was off to the ring.
Yeah,
side.
and he just didn't come out.
Yeah.
So we're still having the elite storyline going on.
Yeah.
With all four of them, not even counting Cody, but like it's such good storytelling. That's why I love AEW. AEW actually can do great long-term storytelling. All right, that's what I told you before. That means that no matter where I go, I got you on my mind. Oof, high, and that was such a fucking high, and it cannot be matched. So you gotta cool the crowd down. You gotta prepare them because there's still some good action going. So we bring it down with the elite deletion match between Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy, and it was funny.
It was very funny.
It was very funny, especially starting out as Sammy comes through in the golf cart, and Matt is over there just waiting on his ass in a goddamn monster truck. It was so fun. That was hilarious.
Right. And for me, for that being my first time watching something like that, like I've never.
That was your first cinematic match.
Yes, that was my very first one watching,
and
I really enjoyed it. Like I never thought I would like it. Like initially, I was like, man, this is like it's gonna be kind of stupid. But then I was like, wait, this is awesome. I love this shit.
Right? Because then what? There was that, and then also I had to get you what? Then fucking the inner circle was looming as Santana Ortiz, Prana Powerful came in and started helping, their boy Sammy beat up on Matt. But Matt called for his own reinforcement, expecting this shit to happen. Mm-hmm. Had to have private party ready, party over there doing their thing tonight.
Private party?
Then out of fucking nowhere, going towards the Lake of Reincarnation comes a hooded figure. No, wait, no. Who was it first? No, actually, hooded figure came out holding hurricane helms. Turned out to be fucking Gangrel. Gang fucking Grell. Which a lot of people forget. Matt Hardy was a part of the second iteration of Brood, him and Jeff. So it kind of makes sense why you get Gangrel in the mix. So that was great. Not to mention there was a slight joke about long-term. But after that happens, it starts to get real in the Ville. As Hardy takes Sammy and goes off into the Hardy Wrestling facility, where he begins to bounce his final assault against Sammy. Oh shit! I did not put a grade for that Bucks match. That was an A+. That match was A+ solid.
I think it was an A+.
Oh, it was A+. A++?
I think it was an A++.
Okay. So we now have a new category that only the creme de la creme of matches can reach: an A++ match.
There's another one that I think reaches it.
We'll get to that. We'll talk about it later.
Yep.
But yes, at the end, whenever Sammy Guevara decides he's gonna go ahead and delete Matt Hardy with his aerial antics and his addiction, fails, and then gets beaten the same way Matt was beaten. Mm-hmm. A chair, fucking power bomb, and cracking the back of his skull, getting all bloody. Nice little callback to their horrendous match at All Out. And then a nasty chair shot to the head in reference to the chair shot that overly kicked off this feud, for good or bad. With Matt Hardy getting the win. Now this is a comedy match. It was an enjoyable comedy match. I laughed my ass off.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a major cool down. For me, I'm gonna say that this match was B+.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the best. I would say it's the second best match of their feud. Their first hardcore match on Dynamite was better.
I didn't see that one, so I can't comment.
No problem, but this was still enjoyable. It was good. Story, it was there, and it looks like it's the end. It's all wrapped up in a nice bow. And also...
in a nice trash can.
Yes. And so Sammy got chucked the fuck out. It was cool. Yeah, solid B is good for this. Mm-hmm. Next we have MJF going against Chris Jericho for a place in the Inner Circle.
Yep.
With story being, which this stems back to quite some time ago, where Maxwell, after losing against John Moxley, decided that the best thing for him would be for him to get his own faction or his own pack of wolves. Now, I thought that this might be a chance for him to bring in Dynasty from MLW, but instead it's going to be Maxwell getting into the Inner Circle. And on top of that, we had hilarious musical numbers, a town hall meeting, and then a match against the Inner Circles, Sammy Guevara and Ortiz, which ended with Chris Jericho getting attacked post match, has brought us down to this moment. This was, if you are into solid fundamental wrestling, you don't want extra flips. You want spots that make sense. You don't need to see nothing too ridiculous. This is a really good match. If you are into a much slower story-based style of wrestling, this match was great. They started off slow, getting it in, but not even that slow. They didn't start off slow because I believe they started out with Max slapping or decking Jericho. Mm-hmm. And from there it just turns to a full fight. Now, both men had their big bodies out of the way. And the thing about it is, in the middle of the match, Chris Jericho kind of might have turned into the Lionheart for a little bit. Bringing back a little bit of old flavor. You know what I'm saying? And it was looking good. He was looking like he was actually enjoying himself. This was a match that, looking at Chris Jericho's face, worked better for him. They flowed together. Jericho didn't have to try and keep up or deal with a younger, more high impact guy. It was literally at his pace. It went well. It flowed well. It was so good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, most definitely. And then when it came time for them to be dicks, going into the closing half, we had Maxie Boy calling Wardlow from the back to bring out the ring. But Wardlow's being there for too long got Aubrey on him. Long enough for Jake Hager, who was chilling in the cut, in the audience, to give Floyd to Chris. And it was like a whole thing about who's gonna get who. So what do we get? We get Maxwell giving a shout out to one Eddie Guerrero as he double shoots at Chris, hits the ground, getting Aubrey's attention as she comes to look at that. It's like, you hit him with the bat, you're not. I'm like, I didn't do it, just for the roll up win 1, 2, 3. And with that
was awesome.
MJF found his way into the inner fucking circle. Not mad at it. Not mad. It was good. It was good. He earned it.
He said he needs somebody. If you're gonna be in the circle, you gotta be crazy. You
gotta be bloodthirsty. You gotta do whatever it takes to win. And he did it. He did what it took. And now the inner circle is actually that much more of a threat, which is. Whew. But I would definitely say that one was an A. That match was an A. Great story. The story was built over long. I was entertained the whole way through. I was definitely satisfied with the way that the match went and ended. No complaints. Action was. I didn't think there was any bad spots. Everything flowed so great.
I agree.
So
I didn't have an issue with that.
That was an A. But now, baby, you know what it's time to talk about. It's time to talk about the main event.
Oh God, yes, I fucking loved it.
Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. Mm-hmm. In a match that was based off of the fact that Eddie, off of one promo, not the match, but a promo, found his way into AEW as signed talent. Given an opportunity from Lance Archer testing positive for COVID, finding himself in the main event scene, getting a title opportunity once, not quitting, not tapping out, but basically passed out, and by referee's decision and discretion, and then building a feud that I was not prepared for, that just was so great. The impassioned promos. Oh, baby, you remember when they had that face off on the mic Wednesday?
Oh yeah, that shit almost made me cry. I was
like tears in the face. When not only when Eddie talked about what he'd been through and what he had to give up to get to this point in his life to be going for a big time world title.
Yep.
To Moxley reminding him that I'm your brother, I'm your friend, I'm with you. I was there with you long term. I was there having dinner with your mother, Ruthie, saying grace. In the way they were exchanging on the mic, it wasn't just back and forth. They were getting there was real, and this is the most impassioned promos ever. And then this match delivered on what the fuck I wanted.
It made me so happy.
It was so vicious, so brutal.
Oh God, yes.
And not even and it's not even big ass spots like as far as a hardcore extreme match, it wasn't nothing overly grand. But the way that these men, Eddie Kingston in the ring looked amazing. I don't know if he got more in shape and worked on his wrestling skills, but he was fucking on top of it with his suplexes, gun riches. Kicks were a little in, but I'm not used to seeing Eddie doing kicks like that. Like, he was actually, it looked like he put in a lot of work in the lab to try and be on Moxley's combat heavy style and be there with him. It was brutal. When they started bringing in the weapons and the way they went, oh my God, that bat spot, barbed wire, tight,
yeah.
like hard swings. Like, they didn't look like attacks, they like real swings. The Crimson Mask they had, the way was all bloody. Every point before they started doing some fucked up shit, they're talking to each other. Don't make me do it. Just go ahead and quit now. And quit now. Neither one doing it.
They didn't want to do it, but they had to do it.
Fucking Eddie Kingston wrapping the barbed wire around the hand with the shots and the spinning back fist at one point, I think.
Yeah.
Down to the final stretch went ended with Moxley wrapping the barbed wire around his arm, putting in the bulldog choke to Eddie. Like, you see Eddie like he don't want to do it. He really don't. He's like dreading, but it's so fucking much. It's so much. He's got nowhere to go and he has to say, I quit.
Yep. Honestly, when it started, I was all for Moxley. Like, yeah. I knew he was gonna win.
But midway through, you just feeling like
I was questioning it.
I was like, I think this is going to Eddie, and Eddie can get it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been mad neither.
I wouldn't have. They both put up a hell of a fight.
And even afterwards,
thumbtacks though.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh my God, no, not even that. Put the thumbtacks and then get the rubbing alcohol and just dump it on his back.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
That was some
shit.
real.
Oh yeah.
Some real asshole shit.
And then even at the end, Moxley was over there trying to lift his friend up. Just like, I'm your brother, I'm your friend, I'm here.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nah, I done went too far, I done too much. Yeah. Ain't no light for me.
Yep.
Oh, it had all the fucking feels.
Yes, it did.
Like, off of that alone, that was A++.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God, every fucking thing you need in a good wrestling match. Yeah. It was so good, and I definitely would. I
love the
Eddie. Eddie Kingston has to be world champion within a year. He has to, more than anybody else, more than Kenny Omega, and I fucking love me some Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm. I know you do.
Speaking of post match, Kenny Omega now as the tournament winner comes out to basically let it be known, hey, you and me, we got unfinished business. We're gonna do it. So we're gonna get Omega Moxley 2 or Omega Moxley 1 because this is going to be their first official match. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure when. I can definitely see this happening at Revolution. Or if they really want to and push it to the premier early year pay-per-view, have this happen at Double or Nothing. This is going to be massive. It's going to be monstrous. We got the announcement for Revolution. I think it's like February 26th or 27th. So that's going to be dope. I'm excited because we're going to have a bunkhouse match on fucking Dynamite this week, which is going to be ridiculous because if it's anything like the old bunkhouse match in WCW, it's just gonna be wild and fucking crazy.
That's on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Wednesday. You gotta watch it, baby.
I will.
Because it's also gonna be Ray Phoenix and Pentagon 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby, baby.
I'm not gonna miss it.
Oh no, that you gotta watch. You gotta watch it.
I will.
But yes, all in all, if I gotta give a final grade for the show, with the lowest point match being that being the it's between the opening match. It's between the opening match and Matt Hardy as far as which was down, which was the lowest point to the highest point being the Kingston and Bucks match. This pay-per-view gets a solid A.
Oh yeah.
Solid A. I almost want to give it an A+, but just being honest to myself, I'm like, everything was so good. Everything was good.
But I feel like that first match could have been a little bit better.
With Omega and Paige, or are you talking about the NWA Women's Championship match?
The Women's Championship. I felt like it ended too quickly.
Really? Because they had like about 20 solid minutes of action.
Yeah.
That was that was an A+. That was an A show. Mm-hmm. It was great. Yep. We gotta watch Following Dynamite, and we're gonna build to do it. I also would love to get you in more of my videos when you come around, baby.
I most certainly would like that.
Definitely. Hopefully, we're gonna try and see about working our way towards getting reaction videos. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
that'll be.
I want to do the try not to laugh ones too.
You want to try not to laugh?
Yeah, I think you would not win.
I think I would win.
I don't think you would.
All right, it'll probably be a minute before you come back around, but when you come back around, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Anyway, this has been your boy WxG Doria with Lady T with me. We'll see y'all later. Peace.